What's up, normal ladies? My name is Chaz, and welcome to the updated version of the custom card review of Darkness Body Parts. The original name is Body Horror. That's spelled with Horror. Some of you might know it, but others, if you haven't seen the, movies or TV shows, it's basically a man's arm turns into this giant squid arm and, like a tentacle thing, and ends up, trying to kill somebody, So, I made this archetype. But I want it to be, a little less, scary. More into, dark things. So, let's start with my very first card that I made for the archetype. Darkness Body Parts, Heart, Brain. His head is the heart, like a human heart. Right? And his effect, some of these are I'm trying to remember, but 3 of these cards, like this one, has these things called hand neutrals. Or basically this card allows you to negate attacks and their turns. So, yeah, and then once per turn, during either player's turn, you can select one monster from anywhere except this card to your field in attack mode. But its attack points become double the attack points. And all of its, because some of these cards have boosts of the other in its archetype. Like this one gives them 2,000 attack and defense for each of your opponent's draw phases. So basically, no matter what, you activate, or no matter if you summon a monster, during your opponent's turn, you draw, or your opponent draws, this card gains attack. And if this card is sent to the grave, you can select one spell/trap card from your deck or graveyard or bandstone to your hand. Shuffle this card into the deck. If you do, so it allows you to also gain life points back too, if it was sent to the grave or shuffled into the deck. So then Blue Brain thing is it stops your opponent from activating a card effects, because there's so many negations of so once you activate this card, summon it, and you shuffle the card back into the deck, because who knows, they might have a graveyard effect that. So yeah, and then this has once per turn. You can select one card from your graveyard or bandstone and add it to your hand. Destroy all cards. So yeah, it's basically I'm going to take my card back to my hand. Now, I summon, you could just re-grab this, and your opponent And it tries to like be like, oh, I'm gonna do something stupid. Yeah. So then, yeah. So then, plus, if this card defects, or if you do your opponent, skip your opponent's battle phase until the next turn. If this card is sent to the grave, shuffle this card into the deck, add 4 monsters. So basically, 4 out of 5 Exodia parts, if you add them, if you had this card in your hand, that will probably make it a little bit better because, yeah. So then, let's moving on to Bloody Hands, and there's like 4 of these, 8 of these fingers, except for the 2 thumbs, have eyeballs. Like, here. Like these guys right here. These ones. And these ones have eyes. So, yeah. So then, yeah. But this one is called Bloody Hands because, yeah, if your opponent summons, it negates, like, your opponent's is summoning monsters. And, like, negate that summoning and shovel it into the owner's deck. Once per turn during either player's turn, you can select 1 card from your opponent's deck or hand. Send it to the grave. If it does, then inflict 500 damage. So basically, you like summon, like, there's a card that does not need a requirement. Reader Man is a new one. And he's a dark level 4 warrior effect monster with 400 attack and 500 defense. And then you can add cards to your hand, and you could combine them. Like if you need Pot of Greed, you summon this card, you activate its effect, and you add them to your hand. You add like 1 Pot of Greed, Hunt of Duravelins, or the one that shuffles 2 cards into the deck, and Reckless Greed, and like Mirror Force. Then you can be all set. But it also combos with another card, so yeah. But this card inflicts damage to your opponent's life points. You can pay 1,000, attack again, or makes this card attack again. If this card is used for anything, like Synchro, Fusion, XYZ, Ritual, anything like that, it gains this effect of this card can't be destroyed by battle or by card effects, and it gains 1,000 attack and defense for each draw phase of your opponent. So, yeah, basically it's saying like, oh, I'm gonna read a book on my opponent's turn, on his time. So if this card is sent to the grave, you can shuffle this card into the deck and inflict 3,000 damage to your opponent's life points. Yeah, so then the spell card that I was the card that I was talking about is this one. Because if this card is activated, or first let's go over a name. Darkness Body Part Cup Face. If this card is activated, you can pay 100 life points, draw 4 cards from the top of your deck to your hand, and then discard 2 cards from your hand to the graveyard. If it does, then send all cards from your opponent's field and hand to the graveyard. Their effects are negated until the next turn. That's what it should have said. This card's effects cannot be negated by card effects and can't be changed by card effects. So basically, this card, if you add like 2 of these and Pot of Greed and like another one. Yeah. So now I'm going to go over the XYZ monster because it has this weird requirement of it requires 3 level 12s or level 4 monsters. That, like, 3 level 12s or 4 level 4s, it's basically, yeah. I don't know if there's a card that specifically, this card, like, you can add, or no, you can overlay it with like 4s or 12s. So, must be XYZ summoned. It makes sense. If this card is special summoned, you can detach 1 XYZ material from this card to your graveyard. Inflict damage to your opponent's life points equal to selected XYZ material's attack points. Once per turn during your main phase 1, you can detach 1 XYZ material from this card to the graveyard. Attach 2 monsters from anywhere to this card. So, when I say ever from anywhere, that means also from your opponent's deck. Or, no, actually, graveyard. Like, if it was Yu-Gi-Oh! GX era, or, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 thing, then the opponent, or, like, you could steal the Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon and use that as a synchro material. Yeah. And then you can and treat them as the XYZ material. If this card is sent to the grave, you can shuffle this card into your extra deck. Special summon all the XYZ materials to your field in attack mode. Now, this card had on it, but their attack points become double the attack points. So basically, I think Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon had like 25. Let's see. Yes, I was right. You can take this card, earn, and yeah, you can add it to your hand, or no, attach it, then summon it. So that would have been like 50th. Yeah. So then a trap card. This one is basically a core of these darkness body parts. The It's darkness body parts, hearts, clown, or no, core, not clown. Sorry. If your opponent declares an attack on a monster, you can activate this card from your spell and trap card zone. You can shuffle one card from on the field into the owner's deck. Draw or add 3 cards from the top of your, or add 3 spell/trap cards from anywhere except this card to your hand. If it does, negate that attack and end their turn. If this card is sent to the grave, you can shovel this card into your deck, special summon one darkness body part monster from anywhere to your field in attack mode. But its attack points become double the attack points. So you can summon this card and it has 800. And then, so then there's also another one that's a similar. So once this card is special summoned, you can add a card from your graveyard or battle zone, add it to your hand. Then inflict damage to your opponent's life points. Or inflict 2,500 damage to your opponent's life points. If this card inflicts damage to you can shuffle one card from your graveyard or battle zone or hand into the deck. Makes this card attack again. If you do, you gain 1,000 life points. If this card is used for anything, then it gains so it attacks 4 times per in each of your battle phases. So basically, you can make this card attack 4 times. So then if this card is sent to the grave, you can shuffle this card into the deck and discard 1 card from the top or from your opponent's hand to the graveyard. If it does, skip your opponent's battle phase until the next turn. This card, your hex, cannot be negated by card hex. Can be chained by card hex, and you take no damage from battles. So then, this one is basically like a seal of. It's basically like that Florentine Yu-Gi-Oh! Is one of his cards. But this one, as long as this card remains face up on the field, all decreasing in your life points become 0. Each time your life points would decrease, this card gains 1,000 attack points. If this card is summoned, you can special summon 1 darkness body parts monster from anywhere from your hand or deck. Or you can add 1 spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. If this card inflicts damage to your opponent's life points, then you can pay 1,000 life points, make this card attack again. So that's one thing. it makes you lose life points, but it also gains attack. So then if this card is sent to the grave, you can select one card from your deck or graveyard or banner stone, add it to your hand. If it does, then shuffle this card into your deck. So most of these cards that have like the you can't take damage from evolving this card is basically because some of the body horror things, you see them get destroyed and they come right back and without any harm. So then this is Skeleton's Revenge. You need this guy to be on the field, and to activate this card from your hand, instead of setting it, destroy all monsters from your opponent's field and hand to the graveyard. If it does, inflict damage to your opponent's life points equal to the combined attack points of those monsters by this effect. So basically, like if your opponent had 3 blue eyes on the field with a blue eyes ultimate dragon, and you activate this card, that would have been like pretty powerful. This is like an instant win card, because it's like, so and if this card is sent to the grave, you can shuffle or select a card from your deck, add them to your hand. If it does, then this card is shuffled into the deck. So then, Rise of the Darkness Body Parts. If your opponent activates or declares an attack, you can select one Darkness Body Part monster from anywhere, spell summon it to your field in attack mode. Or if it does, then negate the card effect or attack an instant, and then instantly end your opponent's turn. Like, they don't go into number 2. They only go into... And if this card is sent to the grave, you can shuffle this card into the deck. Your opponent discards all cards from their hand to the graveyard. Their effects are negated until the next turn. So, we're getting into some newer, like, cards that I mean. So this card is basically supposed to be like the Gorgon from Stranger Things. So this is called Darkness Body Parts Demon Dog. It's a dark level 4 Fiend effect monster. If this card is normal summon, you can spell summon 2 more copies of this card from anywhere to your field. They can't be destroyed by battle or by card effects. Can't be banished by card effects. So basically, you can summon this one. It gives up your normal summon. And the game basically like you give up your normal summon to special summon 2 Nong that can't be unaffected or is unaffected by card effects. can't be destroyed. And then this one, if this card is sent to the grave, you can pay 1,000 life points to special summon this card from or to your field in attack mode. But its attack points become double the attack points. This card's effects cannot be negated by card effects and can't be chained by card effects. And all darkness body parts monsters on the field, they gain 2,000 attack points for each of your from either player's end phase. So basically the one that was before was only for your opponent's draw phase. This one bumps up the so basically when you have two more of them with that one, it makes your life makes you gain a lot of attack points for your monsters. Because each one has a built-in the same effect. So like this card might have, instead of like 2,000, it will have 1, 2, 3. Let me get the calculator thing, shall we? And it was, let's do this, ready? So 2,000 times 4 plus 1,000 because of the dog, and this is what it is. So yeah, because 4 of them make sure a life point, or make sure dogs, or no, your monsters have this much attack for each. So basically, let's say 13 rounds. So times 800 again. That's only for 2 rounds. Or no, would be a second round. Yeah. It's gonna be crazy how crazy it is. It is. It's basically like someone just slapped Squidward so hard. Like, no. From a SpongeBob. That's one thing that I really do not like about people making like some inappropriate jokes or trying to make fun of like my favorite characters. So yeah. So then So give me a moment. So yeah, this card mixed with this card can make your life points over 9,000. Yeah. So it would be like the end of your turn and then start of your opponent's. It's the middle one. Yeah. Because each one boosts each other's, yeah, to have like that harpy lady's effects. Basically like, I'm gonna grow big and strong now, I'm gonna beat you up, boy. Bang, bang. Yeah. So if you guys really enjoy this like custom cards reviews, please let me know. And or when you're down there, comment who would win between me and the Duologs in the the okay? Yeah. So who would win? Do hashtag the Duologs is cool, or hashtag Chazzy make, or actually make, or Chazzy make? Because this archetype, let me explain how each of these cards work. So each one is like the personation of each of body horror that people sometimes see in movies. I was gonna make a stomach for this custom cards thing, because there's one I don't remember, but it was the movie where the chunky guy was on a table and the doctor was trying to like put the like chest things, the shock things onto his stomach, and his stomach, or that chunky guy on the tables, his stomach opens up and it made it go through. Yeah, like that kind. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it is like that. And so, yeah. If you guys want me to do the something like that, but without super creepy stuff, let me know. I'll happily to or do that for you. So, peace out, y'all.